An investment contract, on the other hand, is defined under the SRC rule, implementing rules and regulations of the Securities Regulation Code as follows. An investment contract means a contract, transaction, or scheme, collectively contract, whereby a person invests his money in a common enterprise and is led to expect profits primarily from the efforts of others. A common enterprise is deemed created when two or more investors pool their resources, creating a common enterprise even if the promoter receives nothing more than a broker's commission. So, gusto ni Sitaw o ni Sec na i-associate si Sitaw sa ganitong definition ng investment contract. Now, ang atin pong pera ay ipinasok natin sa e-wallet. Diba? Merong virtual wallet si Sitaw. Doon natin siya nilalagay yung pera natin. Okay. So, ano yung e-wallet? Anong purpose noon? Ito po ay para maliwanagan tayo dito. Depositing money into an online wallet in a dropshipping platform does not typically constitute an investment contract. Ito po ay nanggagaling sa labas na not just definition, function ng e-wallet. Kasi mahalaga ito Within a dropshipping platform does not typically constitute an investment contract. Bakit po? Here are the key points to consider. Nature of the deposit, yung pinasok natin na pera doon. Purpose of the wallet. Ano po yung purpose exactly sa wallet na yan? Online wallets in dropshipping platforms such as the AutoDS wallet. May website dito guys. Puntahan ninyo autods.com ata. Specific po siya, wallet siya for dropshipping. Hindi siya kagaya ni Sitaw na lahat nandyan, integrated platform siya. Pero dahil meron siyang wallet na kagaya kay Sitaw, titingnan natin kung ano ba exactly ang nature ng wallet na ito. Specific po yung function ng wallet Online wallets in dropshipping platforms are primarily used for managing payments related to transaction. Yung buy and sell natin. Tapos, on the other hand, including receiving sales revenue. Ito yung dito rin papasok yung money from escrow account or held in escrow or sa parlance ni Sitaw, freezing money. Dito rin niya ibabalik yung naka-freeze ng pera papunta doon sa wallet balance natin within the Sitaw dropshipping platform. Uncovering business expense. Ano tong business expense natin? Cost of goods. 'Di ba? Binili natin yung item bago ipadala ni Sitaw through its contracted logistics partner. This functionality is more transactional than investment-oriented. So, mayroon pa siyang citation Pwede mo puntahan ito. help.autods.com, AutoDS wallet. So, dapat mayroon din si Sitaw dito ng explanation ng wallet niya. Pero dahil nag-start pa nga siya, so nakafocus siya doon sa pinaka-vital na features ng kanyang website. Wala pa siya masyado sa documentation. So, dapat kopyahin ito ni Sitaw. Anyway, so ulitin ko yung nature ng functionality ng wallet ni Sitaw is more transactional than an investment-oriented wallet or a deposit. So, ano yung number 2 aspect niya? Control and usage. Funds deposited into these wallets are usually intended for immediate use. Mabilis tayong nating gamitin ito eh. Yung pera every time na may papasok sa wallet natin from the freezing money, paprocess natin kaagad kasi para kumita siya kaagad. Kumita siya kaagad. The moment na i-process natin yung order. Hindi tayo naghihintay ng fixed time frame bago natin ma-receive yung interest. Right from the moment, immediate use. Right from the moment na binili natin, binayaran natin yung product ni Sitaw na in-order na ng customer. Napakagaan ng trabaho eh. Si Sitaw yung nag-market. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun na hindi kasama yun sa binabayaran natin na product. Maganda yung organization. Magbabayad ka na lang doon sa serbisyo ni Sitaw sa atin. Nagmamarket na siya. Siya pa yung mag-logistics. Lahat yun naka-incorporate na doon sa presyo ng product na binabayaran natin. Users, ito, immediate use in purchasing products or services. Kasama na dyan, logistics services, marketing services, customer support services. Magkasama na dito. Ito, pwede nating sabihin ito and services. In purchasing products and services within the platform rather than being invested for profit. Pero may iba talagang utak itong si Sek eh. Every time na nag-spend ka ng pera, investment yan. Which is, napaka-confusing. Kasi sila mismo sa Biblia nila, iba yung investment firm, iba yung investment house, from retail business, from e-commerce. Maliwanag yun sa Bible nila. Pero, iwan ko dito sa author na ito. Parang kulang sa karga ito. Saan nag-aaral ito? Alamin natin yan. Author. Ito yung Puninti. Ribo. Order. Ito yung author. Angelito P. Bautista. I think this is B. Angelito B. Bautista. So, yan po guys. Yan yung author. So, tapos na tayo sa control and usage. Hindi pa. Users maintain control over their funds for operational purposes. Yan yung nilalagay natin sa wallet balance natin. Operational purposes. Kasama na yung buy and sell ng product. Buy ng product. Which does not align with the characteristic of an investment contract. Maliwanag po ito sa isang e-wallet within dropshipping platforms. Napakaliwanag nito eh. For example, AutoDS Wallet. Dito nagkulang yung definition o yung mga articles ng Biblia nila sa e-commerce. Wala silang ganito sa tingin ko. Hindi sila nakarating dito. Legal definition of investment contracts. Ito. An investment contract typically involves investment of money, a monetary investment with the expectation of profits, usually time-bound. Sa Sitaw po, yung e-wallet natin, wallet balance natin, kung hindi natin ibibili yan ng product, hindi yan kikita ng interest. Just by merely putting money into the wallet balance will not earn us profits. Now, may time-bound ba? Wala rin. Kasi yung investment time-bound po is different from shipment duration. Variable yun eh. Kung may bagyo doon sa pinapadalhan niya, madidelay yun. Kung nag-crash yung eroplano ng logistics, tapos na yung transaction, wala nang mai-deliver. Babalik yung pera natin, puhunan natin, pero yung kita, wala na. So, variable yun. Hindi kagaya dito sa bangko o sa investment houses. Naka-fix lahat. Fixed interest, fix yung time frame na dapat manatili yung pera mo doon sa investment house na yun. So yan po ang investment contract. Iba po sa real-time transaction ng Sitaw Dropshipping Platform. Common enterprise. The investment is part of a common enterprise. Common yung platform. Pero each seller has its own account Siya yung nagpapatakbo sa account na yun. Kanya-kanya tayo. Each individual seller is distinct and separate from all other sellers. Hindi po naglalakbay yung pera natin in sync with one another. Hindi kagaya dito na yung pera ay sabay-sabay na ilalatag doon sa project na kung saan kikita yung bangko o yung company, investment company. Dito kanya-kanya tayong lakad kay sitaw. Kailan tayo bibili, kailan tayo kikita. Magkaiba may distinct characteristic siya. Kaya may hiwalay na mga batas dito. Ang gusto ni Sek, the moment na mag-spend ka ng pera mo, that's an investment. Napaka-manipulative naman. Outside of yung spiritual ng mga batas sa investment sa atin. Expectation of profits. Investors expect to earn profits primarily from the efforts of others. Ang efforts of others sa context ni Sitaw ay yung efforts ng marketing department ni Sitaw, logistic contractor ni Sitaw, yun yung effort of others. Pero hindi tayo kumikita doon sa effort na yun. In fact, binabayaran natin yun doon sa presyo ng produkto ni Sitaw. Baliktad, di ba? Hindi tayo nag-earn sa effort ng logistics. Hindi tayo nag-earn doon sa marketing. Part of doing business yun, which entail costs na naka-factored in na sa presyo ni Sitaw sa kanyang product na ibinibinta sa atin at i-discount compared to the payment ng customer ng item na yun. At yung discount na yun, yan na yung profit margin natin. Hindi tayo nag-profit doon sa logistics, hindi tayo nag-profit doon sa marketing, hindi tayo nag-profit doon sa customer service ni Sitaw. In fact, business expense lahat yon na in-incorporate na doon sa unit price ni Sitaw na siya namang binabayaran natin. Ito, expectation of profits sa isang investments from the efforts of others. Actually ito, may connotation din ito sa yung multi-level marketing, yung pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme. Yung pagpasok pa lang ng downlines, kikita ka. Effort ng others yun. Kikita ka just by merely joining the system, the company. Tapos yung portion naman ng kita mo, mapupunta rin doon sa upline mo. Yung effort mo, kumikita yung upline mo. So from the viewpoint ng upline mo, kumikita siya ng effort from others. Ikaw yung others, sila yung upline, sila yung kumikita sa effort mo. Yan ang ibig sabihin dito na mayroong investment contract. In fact, yung sinabi ko, pyramid scheme, illegal talaga siya. Pero kung titingnan natin yung wallet balance natin, yan lang ay ginagamit for managing payments to relate to transaction, dropshipping transaction, buy and sell. Tapos, dyan din ipapasok yung sales revenue natin. Hanggang ganun lang yung function ng wallet. Hindi po para pag-deposit ka as in a bank na mag-earn siya ng interest just by merely putting our money in a deposit account. Ang wallet po ay ginagamit pambayad sa immediate fulfillment ng order ng customer ni Sitaw. In summary, when depositing funds into a dropshipping platform's online wallet involves financial transactions. It is not considered an investment contract. The funds are used for operational purposes rather than for generating profits through investment activities. Fully cited po itong sagot ni EI. Pagpatuloy muna natin to. The elements of an investment. Ang galing din ng nito. Very persistency, Sec. Further, the elements of an investment contract were enumerated in the case of Power Homes Unlimited, blah blah blah. So, meron pa siya ditong mga jurisprudence. A contract, transaction, or scheme, an investment of money, common enterprise, expectation profits arise primarily from the entrepreneurial and managerial efforts of others. Talagang, gusto niyang i-connect talaga dito. Wala tayong effort para as a seller, as a negosyante. upang i-manage yung account natin with Sitaw, dropshipping account. Wala tayong ginawa pala para kay Sec. Pindot-pindot lang tayo ng button kasi. Hindi niya alam na. Hindi niya naiintindihan. Yan yung advantage ng tamang paggamit ng technology. Yan po ang benefits sa technology. Section 8, the requirement of registration securities. Kaya na yan. Diyan nga papunta yung kwento mo eh. Securities such as investment contracts as defined by the SRC and in relation to SRC rule, kung ano-ano yung mga litania, is trying talaga to create a reality based on their own records, hindi based doon sa actual na nangyayari kay Sitaw. Nakita niyo, di ba? Madali lang naman sana maintindihan yung business ni Sitaw kung sasali ka as a seller. Para nga, sabi ko nga kanina, gagayahin mo yung PDEA. Mayroon kang deep penetration agent, papasok doon sa lungga ng Sitaw. Tapos, i-experience mo si Sitaw para maintindihan mo yung mechanics ng kanyang business. Dapat ganoon ang ginawa niya. Kahit nga mag-order ka lang ng item maintindihan mo na Lalo na pag nag-register ka as a seller. Maglagay ka na ng puhunan ng 2,000, marami ka nang mapoprocess na order dyan para maintindihan mo lang ano ba ang purpose. Kahit isang 20-day cycle lang na investment, tapos mag-withdraw ka, maintindihan mo na kung ano si Sitaw. Anyway, ito, public offering, ganun din. Papunta yan sa investment contract. Distribution, information technology. On the other hand, a broker, oh my goodness. Nabasa na natin yun. Thus, any person without proper registration or license from the commission who acts as brokers, pinalabasan niya na brokers si Sitaw. Agents of a company selling, convincing people to invest in the investment scheme, including solicitation, recruitment. Ito, hindi pa nga niya substantiate ito. Wala naman siyang proof dito Nasisitaw ang gumawa niyan. Baka yung mga seller na atat talaga kumita sila, binibitbit na nila yung potential recruit nila. Tapos sinabihan, magdala ka ng pera, mag-open tayo sa bangko doon, tutulungan kita paano mag-open ng account sa bangko para mai-deposit natin yung pera mo sa wallet balance ng Sitaw account mo. Hanggang doon lang ako mag-implicate doon sa seller na yun. Kasi hindi natin alam na may mga ibang entities talagang hinahawakan yung pera ng potential recruit niya. Yun, absolutely illegal na yun dahil walang lisensya yung tao na yun na gumawa nun. Pero kung ina-assist lang niya, qualified pa rin siya na legal seller siya ng Sitaw. Okay pa rin yun na nag-assist siya sa tao. Genuine talaga siguro yung desire na tulungan yung tao na yun na magkaroon ng negosyo online. Pero ito, pinalabas talaga na dito papunta yung kwento. Kaya na-mention siya unang pages pa lang. Anyway, 21 years imprisonment na pag ganun. In this particular case, the department carefully examined the characteristics of investments offered by Sitaw. Carefully, the department carefully examined without being a Sitaw seller, without being an employee within the Sitaw company. Carefully examine siya from the outside looking into the business of Sitaw. Yan po ang kumplitong description dito sa ginagawa sa statement ni SEC. The characteristics of investments offered by Sitaw to determine if these satisfy the elements of an investment contract. Sige. In our evaluation, indeed, the elements of an investment contract are manifested in the investments being offered by Sitaw. So, parang with finality na ito. Although, inaalaw pa rin nila yung appeal, o baka hindi na. Pinapaasa lang tayo. Kasi, naghihintay sila na maraming magre-reklamo against Sitaw. And then, that's when they file the case against Sitaw sa Court of Law. So, talagang pinapahinog nila ang tao para magagalit talaga. Okay. So ito yung nakikita nila kay Sitaw. By investing in the company, the investor enters into a contract. Wala, hindi naman tayo nag-invest. Nagpasok tayo ng pera sa wallet, gaya lang na-explain natin kanina. For transactional purpose only, real-time buy, purchase ng kanyang product para may ipadala na yung order. There is a placement of money from the public as they are enticed to invest. Talaga naman. Hindi nga nila i-mention yung wallet dito eh. Kasi kung i-mention nila, papasok sila doon sa argument natin. Yung argument natin kanina ito. Yan. Depositing money into an online wallet within a dropshipping platform does not typically constitute an investment contract. So, ayaw nila pumasok dyan kasi alam nila mabubuli ni aso sila dyan. Mawalan sila ng argument. Dito na lang sila sa mga standard definition ng there is a placement of money. So, entice to investment in a contract. Parang general, generalized statement that represented to be engaged in a lucrative business and are required to invest money in order for them to earn profits. Napaka-simplistic, Hindi man lang dinidetalye ano exactly yung ginawa ng seller. As explained above, the money being paid to Sitaw is a capital or investment. So, sige na. Yun ang gusto mo eh. The money invested is placed in a common enterprise. Kasi common, nag-iisa si Sitaw. Hindi nila tinitingnan sa point of view ng seller na si seller nag-iisa din. Diba? Ang common point nating lahat as Sitaw sellers ay yung platform ni Sitaw. Pero alam natin na kanya-kanya tayong negosyo. Kanya-kanya tayong diskarte. Paano natin i-process yung order ni Sitaw. Ito ba unahin natin yung maliit yung kita o dito tayo sa malaki? Diba? The investors expect to derive profits as they are primarily attracted to join Sitaw for a promise of receiving profit. Oh my goodness. Hindi po pangako ang profit sa Sitaw platform. Yan po ay kasama na siya doon sa presyo ni Sitaw. Discounted price. Hindi po pangako yun. Yung pangako pwede mangyari, pwedeng hindi. Pero dito, the moment i-purchase mo yung product, may kita ka na. At alam mo exactly kung magkano yung kita mo. Today na pinaprocess mo yung order na yun. So, hindi kailangan mangako. Kasi yung mangako, ibig sabihin, darating siya from the in the future. Tapos dito, so mali ito. Yan, mali yan. The investor expect to earn profits. Expect. Sa future pa rin mangyayari kasi expect eh. Derive primarily from the efforts of others. Paulit-ulit ito. Hindi tayo nag-effort pala to process the order. In this particular case, an evaluation of Sitaw marketing scheme reveals that clearly the buying and selling of products and to act as an e-commerce is not present in the Sitaw business operation. Sitaw, ito yun guys. Papakabigat na accusation ito. Sitaw is apparently the one who pretends to be the buyer. Sitaw is apparently the one who pretends to be the buyer, and every registered seller and manipulates each seller's dashboard. Alam mo, makakarating ka sana dito sa conclusion na ito kung nag-seller ka ni Sitaw muna. Bigla na lang pumasok sa utak. Wala kasing explanation sa mga sinasabi niya before this statement. Wala kang makikita na explanation paano siya nagiging investment contract. So isasarado na niya yung narrative niya. Sitaw is apparently, hindi siya sure. Dito sure na siya na mayroong pinasok na investment contract. Pero dito, hindi pa rin siya. Hindi siya sure. Is apparently the one who pretends to be the buyer. So nakita niyo yung disconnect sa mga predicates niya bago siya nag-conclude ng possible explanation kung bakit mayroong investment contract na siya rin may gusto na magiging justification niya sa revocation order. Dito, ano ako dito? Medyo shock ako dito. Sitaw is apparently the one who pretends to be the buyer and every registered seller and manipulates its seller's dashboard. Oh my goodness. Hindi kailangan yan gawin ni Sitaw kasi yung negosyo niya, i-analyze lang ng SEC ito. Malaki kita ni Sitaw eh. Mas malaki kaysa seller, kaysa individual seller. So, hindi kailangan i-manipulate ang dashboard ni seller. The invoice that Sitaw sends to its seller contains incomplete details. Ito naman, ibang anggulo naman yan tiningnan. To support the claim na walang buyer pala tayo. Naglalaro lang pala sa numero si Sitaw sa dashboard natin. The invoice that seller sends to its seller contains incomplete details daw. Ayan. It must be noted that when issuing invoice to clients, customers, it should reflect and/or contain all required information to be shown therein. Name, address, contact number. Sabi niya. Now, between the customer and the seller, tayo po as the dropshipper ay third party na. The transaction occurred between the customer ni Sitaw at saka yung marketplace ni Sitaw. Si Sitaw ang seller, si buyer ang customer. So dalawang parties are engaged in an ordinary buy purchase transaction. Walang authority si customer na ibinibigay kay Sitaw to pass his personal details to a third party, which includes tayo. Third party tayo, si SEC third party din. Ang hindi lang makonsider dito na third party ay yung logistics. Kasi yung logistics, inaalaw yan na malaman ang private details ng customer. Otherwise, paano makakarating yung product doon sa customer? Tayo po ay third party. Ito pong form na ito, mada-download mo ito for each order transaction. May resibo ka na marireceive dito. Walang pangalan ng customer, walang detalye. Pero mapapansin mo, meron pa rin pinapalusot na numero. This number, obviously, sa US ito, 00 yung area code. So, alam mo kung saan pinapadala. Now, yung pangalan nito, Colmao, hindi ko alam kung apelido yan or truncated, no? Truncated name sa apelido at saka sa first name. Anyway, hindi nga tayo authorized na makita itong detalyin na ito kasi third party na tayo. Ang transaction is between Sitaw and its customer. Kasi si Sitaw ang nag-marketing eh. Now, pangalawang aspect dito is ano mangyayari kung ilalagay ni Sitaw yung mga pangalan dyan? Makikita ng Pilipino yan, i-harvest niya yan. Gagawa siya ng mailing list. Tapos kung mayroon siyang ibang business, i-spam niya yung mga pangalan na yun, yung mga email addresses na yun. Pwede ba yan? Meron tayong privacy law sa Pilipinas din. Bawal yan eh. bawal sa labas na mas nauna sila sa e-commerce, bawal na rin dito kasi may naipasa na tayong Privacy Act. Kung hindi nag-authorize si customer na i-share yung data na to any third party, hindi pwedeng i-share ni Sitaw. Bobo na lang ang hindi nakakaintindi ng ganon. Ito, it should be noted that when issuing invoice to client, it should reflect and or contain all the information required to be shown therein. So ginagawa niyang offline business yung Sitaw dropshipping platform. And again, ito kung gustong malaman ng Securities and Exchange Commission kung may actual product ba, may actual buyer pa si Sitaw, madali lang gawin. Mag-post si SEC as a buyer. Mag-purchase siya ng kahit anong product sa Sitaw platform. Kung walang darating sa kanya na product, edi walang product si Sitaw. Madaling ma-prove yun. Hindi kailangan ng deep penetration agent. Kahit outsider pa rin, malalaman kung may product si Sitaw. Kung may product, hindi scam. Kung walang product, scam. Bakit hindi ginawa yun ni Securities and Exchange Commission? Nakafocus lang ba siya sa commission? Moreover, there is also an affiliate program. Okay? Being offered by Sitaw where a referral code. Earn 3% commission. Tingnan mo to. Inaccurate na naman to. Will earn 3% commission from each successful order processes of his or affiliate. Hindi po yung pinaprocess na order. Yung kita doon ang kukunan or magiging reference to determine the amount of the 3% commission. Maraming inaccuracies dito sa document na ito. The business mechanics of Sitaw, contrary to its representations, does not actually involve a scenario where, as advertised by Sitaw on social media, hindi naman si Sitaw yung karamihan. Anyway, that it provides a dropshipping platform with a seamless, secure online shopping experience to customers worldwide, that it offers its services by accommodating sellers to have their own shop by using Sitaw platform or application where a seller can manage and monitor his her own shop. Rather, the seller is made to invest by first paying for the value of the alleged. Hindi talaga siya naniniwala na may product si Sitaw. Talaga naman. Sinabihan na nga na bumili ka muna. Hindi rin nakinig, For the value of the alleged product ordered, and it is only after the lapse of days or even weeks that the profit, together with the principal amount, is paid to the seller. Yung paid, hindi yan paid, is released to the seller from the freezing money repository. Ganun na lang. Holding account. This scheme contains all the hallmarks. Nakakatawa na. Wala, naubos na yung galit natin. Tatawa na lang tayo. A form of security defined under securities. Sitaw is offering an investment scheme. Kasi nga, na-explain na natin to kanina yung wallet balance natin. Transactional nga siya. Ulitin nga natin. Napaka kulit Kasasabi na nga Depositing money into an online wallet within a dropshipping platform does not typically constitute an investment contract. Online wallets and dropshipping platforms are primarily used for managing payments related to transactions, including receiving sales revenue and covering business expenses. For example, cost of goods, cost of the product that we are sending to the customer. Yan po ang function niya. At ano yung conclusion? This functionality is more transactional than investment-oriented. Yan po, SEC. Intindihin mo yan. Basahin nyo yung Biblia nyo ulit. na mali kayo ng interpretation eh. Akala ko mahirap i-rebut itong ano na ito. Akala ko talaga mahirap eh. Kasi mga legal, ano. Yung parang madali lang eh. Ito. It has been applied to a variety of situations where individuals were led to invest money in a common enterprise. Talagang hindi naintindihan yung e-commerce. With the expectation that they would earn a profit to the efforts of the promoter or someone other than themselves. Kung ganito talaga yung batas sa Pilipinas, na masyadong outdated ba? Wala nang papasok na e-commerce dito na kagaya ni Sitaw. Kaya nagtataka ako paano nakasurvive yung mga nauna ni Sitaw eh. Meron ding mga yan eh. Parang may wallet din ata yun. Yung existing dyan, yung dalawa na mga e-commerce platform. Meron yan eh. May wallet yan for yung magpa-refund ka. Mamimili ka kung i-refund siya back to your credit card o kung debit card ba yung ginagamit mo or to e-wallet. Kalimutan ko yung term. Within the Lazada platform. Kasi wala akong account sa Shopee. Dahil sunod-sunod kasi akong na-scam dyan sa Shopee ng mga sellers. At wala namang magandang tawag nito. Yung mag-return item ka, matagal. Tapos yung pinapadala mo, ni-return mo, ibabalik lang din sa'yo. Yun ang experience ko sa Shopee. Kaya na-close yung account ko dyan. Kino-close ko na lang. Hindi ko na ginamit for 2 years. 2 years na ata. Kaya kahapon naka-receive ako ng email na tatanggalin na yung pangalan ko. Okay lang yun. Wala naman tayong pambili na rin. It is important to emphasize that Sitaw as a juridical person is only allowed to exercise powers inherent to its corporate existence as blah blah blah. In other words, what a corporation can do is necessarily circumscribed by its primary purpose. So, ito yung sinasabi ko guys na importante yung primary purpose mo na well-defined, accurately stated para tingnan mo, inulit nga niya dito. In Sitaw primary purpose in its articles of incorporation, it is clearly provided the business of the subject company is to engage in, conduct, and carry on the business buying, selling, distributing, marketing, or wholesale and retail business insofar as may be permitted by law. All kinds of goods, wares, and merchandise, every kind, and description, and enter into all kinds of contracts for export, import, purchase. Okay naman pala dito. Ito yung mga detalye na hindi natin nabasa kanina. Kinds of contracts for export, purchase, acquisition, sale on wholesale, retail basis. So, na-covered lahat dito. As principal or in representative capacity as main distributor. Okay ito. Merchandise broker, indentor, ibig sabihin dito, importer. Commission, merchant, factors or agents upon consignment of all kinds of goods, services, merchandise, or products with natural or artificial without engaging in investment solicitation. Nakalagay pala sa niya. Sinabi talaga niya na hindi naman kami investment doon sa incorporation papers nila. Nakalagay eh. Kasi ayaw kasi nilang kumuha ng secondary license. Siguro complicated din yung pagkuha nun guys. Mura lang yung secondary license. Nasa 50,000 lang. So mura yan para sa isang korporasyon na malaki yung potential. Nor investment taking activity from the public investment. Totoo naman yun sa experience natin. Diba? Hindi naman tayo nag-invest. provided that the corporation shall not solicit, accept, or take investment from, neither shall it issue investment contracts. So, nakalagay dito. So, mismo si Sitaw, hindi kami mag-i-issue ng investment contracts. Yung pitaka namin is only for transactional purposes only rather than investment-oriented. Nonetheless, the purpose stated in the articles of incorporation need not set out with particularity the multitude of activities in which the corporation may engage. The effect, nasa 12 page na tayo, page 12. The effect of broad purposes or objects is to confer wide discretionary authority upon the directors and management of the corporation as to the kinds of business in which it may engage. However, dealings which are entirely irrelevant to the purposes are unauthorized and called ultra vires. The purpose clause of the Articles of Incorporation indicates the extent as well as the limitation of the powers which a corporation may exercise. In fact, the purpose in Sitaw's Articles of Incorporation expressly prohibits it to operate an investment-taking scheme. So, nabasa na rin natin yan. In ANSEC opinion, the Commission pronounced that it is the corporation's primary purpose clause which confers likewise a certification of registration. Explicitly states that this certificate grants juridical personality to this corporation but does not authorize it to issue, sell, or offer for sale to the public securities such as but not limited to shares of stock, investment contracts. Ito talagang tinatarget niya. May investment contract. Ito kasi yung debatable eh. Kasi hindi rin niya in-explain dito kung ano ba yung function ng wallet eh. Na nakapagtataka yon. Kasi kung i-discuss niya yon, papasok yung argument natin na ganito. Ito. Diba? Ayaw makita ni Sik yan. Anyway, secondary, blah, blah, blah. Naintindihan na natin. Yan yung narrative mo eh. To exacerbate matters, ito. Banat ulit ito. The scheme being offered by Sitaw is clearly in the nature of the Ponzi scheme. Clearly sinabi na lang. Clearly. Hindi ka nga naka-experience as a Sitaw seller. Paano nagiging clearly yan? Chismis lang yung narinig mo. Where the profits or payouts shall be taken from incoming investors, sellers, or additional pay-ins existing. Ito, shall be taken from incoming. Talaga naman. Payouts are, parang inano talaga niya pyramid eh. Payouts shall be taken from incoming investors. Napaka-inaccurate naman ito. Wala na ito guys. Qualified na ito na ngayon pa lang sasabihin ko sa inyo eh. Pwede tayo mag-file dito ng class action suit na ito. Mananalo tayo dito. Kaso matagal lang yun. Hindi makakasurvive yung ibang seller. Maliit lang ang puhunan. Oh my goodness. Kung meron lang isang organization ba na siya yung sasalo dito sa problema na ito. Siya yung mag-craft ng class action suit. Tapos, kung magkano yung ma-recover niya, kaso papailan mo ng kaso yung government. Pababayaran mo yung government. Obviously, pag nagbayad, halimbawa manalo yun, ano? Kasi may kaso tayo dito eh. Pero ang makikita ko dito, once papasukin ito ng organization na mag-file ng class action suit on our behalf, titiklop kagad to si SEC. Alam niya na defective yung revocation order niya. Pag nangyayari yun, kahit hindi na natin tatanggapin yung damages na ibabayad sa atin ni SEC. Yung organisasyon na yun yung sasalo, yan na yung bayad niya. Pwede ganun ang usapan eh. Fraudulent transaction. It shall be unlawful, blah blah blah. Alam na natin eh, sinabi mo na dito eh. Payout shall be taken from incoming investors. Ano ba yan? Talaga naman. Ito mga quotation sa Bible nila, hindi importante sa atin yan eh. Yan ang sinusunod nila, which is outside doon sa actual na nangyayari kay Sitaw. Hindi mag-apply ito. On the other hand, blah blah blah. The act of selling unregistered, nito na naman. Illegal nga yan, alam na natin. Nilagyan pa talaga niya emphasis hours. Anong kabubuhan na ito? Galing nga ito sa Bible mo eh. Tapos sasabihin mo pa emphasis hours. Kayo yung nag-implement sa mga bersikulo na ito. Sa mga provisions na ito sa batas ng SEC. Tapos sasabihin mo emphasis hours. Para kang nag-quote ng ibang libro na kailangan mong irespeto yung formatting ng original na libro na yon. Ano ba ang pangalan ng tao na ito? Talaga naman. Yan. Angelito. Ay, dong. Ayusin mo yung diskarte mo dito. My goodness. Tuloy tayo guys. Kailangan nating timplahan ito ng nakakatawa. Kasi boring itong topic na ito eh. Mga legal. Nakakaantok ito. Under Section 6 of Presidential Decree, the Commission has the power to suspend. Commission. Kaya ginawa niya. Sinuspindi niya. Kasi mayroon siyang power eh. To suspend, to revoke. In-exercise lang ni SEC yung authority niya. Sabi, ito, interesting to guys. On the ground of serious misrepresentation as to what Corporation Candor is doing to the great prejudice of or damage to the general public. Tandaan mo yung quote na yan ha. Kasi i-requote natin yan mamaya. Sige, meron ditong example na naman which is very irrelevant doon sa actual na business processes ni Sitaw. Considering that nowhere is it stated that in its primary purpose that Sitaw is authorized to engage in selling or offering for sale of securities to the public. The activity of Sitaw of selling or offering for sale, so talagang ginawa niyan, nag-normalize na siya dito. Nasisitaw talaga ay selling or offering sale of investments. Ito yung parang papunta na siya sa climax eh. Pinagtatagpo na niya lahat ng mga supposedly ebidensya na nag-exist lang sa kanyang utak. Wherefore, ito na guys, ito na yung pinakahihintay natin. Wherefore, for violations of section the certificate of incorporation and registration of Sitaw as a corporation is hereby revoked. All of those baseless narratives ay ito yung karating na siya sa kanyang objective. Okay? So, meron pala dito kasama sa batas nila a fine of no less than 10,000 pesos or nor more than 1 million. Ibig sabihin, nor. So, hindi bababa sa 10,000 na, meron pa plus not more than 2,000 per day continuing violation. Now, itong inisyo itong revocation order, June 12 ata to. I-correct nyo lang ako kung June 12. Tapos, nag-close si Sitaw June 25. So, ilan yun? June 12. So, mga 13 days. Each day of that 13 days, 2,000 yun, additional dito sa maximum 1 million penalty. First offense pa ito ni Sitaw, di ba? Tama ba? Nag-violate ko no siya. Ito. Hence a fine of 1 million peso. Kasi yun ang maximum is hereby imposed against Sitaw. For offering securities to the public without prior registration and license from the commission. And Sitaw, its incorporators and directors are directed to pay the fine of 1 million pesos. Wala nakalagay na each, So, baka ito na yon maximum. Kasi kung each incorporator, 5 million yun. Pursuant to section ng Bible nila. Accordingly, let this order be posted on the SEC website and attached by the corporate filing or records division of the company. Sa kanila ito, doon natin na-download ito. Commission is likewise requested to enter the revoked status of subject corporation in the online database of the Commission. So ordered. Makati City, 10 May 24. Matagal na pala to guys, hindi ito June. Hindi pala June May 10, 2024. So hindi lang 13 days. So, ito yung pinirmahan ni Philbert Catalino F. Flores III na director sa SEC. Pinirmahan niya na revocation order against New Sitaw Corporation. So, ano yung nakikita natin dito sa last page? Okay? Sa last page po, nakikita kung magkano yung ibabayad ni Sitaw sa agency, sa commission na ito. Now, babalikan natin yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina na dapat tandaan ninyo. Okay. Ito, on the ground of serious misrepresentation. Si Sitaw daw i-suspend nila, i-revoke nila on the ground serious misrepresentations as to what the corporation can do or is doing to the great prejudice or damage to the general public. Ibig pong sabihin ito, in-imply ni SEC na ginagawa niya yung revocation to serve and protect the interest of the general public. At para ma-effect niya yung desire na yon to serve and protect the welfare of the general public, ang sabi niya, Sitaw, magbayad ka ng 1 million. Okay? Within 15 days plus 2,000 each day from May 10 to June 25. Yun lang ang gagawin mo. Wala nang iba. Kasi, so ordered na dito Wala ka namang mababasa dito between the lines. Bakit ko sinabing importante na mayroong kang mababasa dito? Ano yung dapat na ilalagay dyan? Ito po yung dapat ilagay dyan. Inline note. Lagyan natin dito banda. Nakalimutan ito Likewise, you are hereby ordered to return all the money that you have collected from the sellers. Okay, sellers. I.e., victims of your investment schemes. Diba? Tapos, lagyan mo rin, note to myself. Note to para sa SEC. I should not spread rumors about Sitaw for the time being so that the banking community will continue to process all Sitaw related deposits to its sellers. Diba? Who are already KYC'd by the banks a long time ago. Hence, they cannot be considered as money launderers. Diba? Ito naman ang ugat, punot dulo ng ating problema. Ayaw ng bangko tanggapin ang pagsusuli ng pera ni Sitaw sa ating account. Pera natin yon na pilit ibalik ni Sitaw sa mga bank accounts na matagal nang existing dyan sa banking community na yan. So, bakit pigilan yun? Saan pa nagagaling yung pera ni Sitaw? Pera natin yon. Yung pera na nandito sa Pilipinas, pera natin yan. Yan yung discounted price na binabayaran natin. Ibig sabihin po, kung i-release ni Sitaw pati yung kita natin, mag-withdraw siya sa kanyang overseas bank account para maipasok dito yung profit natin. Naintindihan nyo? Hiwalay po yung bayad natin. Nandito lang siya. In piso yun eh. Nandito sa Pilipinas yun na bank account nila. Ready to be disbursed to the sellers. Pero yung kita natin, nandoon sa bayad ng customer. Ang bayad ng customer papasok sa overseas bank account nila. In dollars yun. Kung taga-Europe yung customer, euro yung binayad nila. Papasok yun sa euro account ni Sitaw. Outside of the Philippines. So nandoon yung buong bayad ng customer. Pero dahil nandito na sa Philippines yung cost of goods, ang ipapasok na lang ni Sitaw dito, kung i-allow sa mga bangko, ay yung profit natin. So maliwanag yan na. Sana maliwanag din tong note to myself ni Sek. Pero dahil si Sek po is one of 3 members ng AMLC, Anti-Money Laundering Council, hindi po mapipigilan yung malalaman ng BSP yung problema ni Sitaw. Actually, hindi problema ito ni Sitaw eh. Problema na ginagawa ng SEC against kay Sitaw. Another question, saan mapupunta itong 1 million na ito? Now, meron principle dyan eh na presume, ano ba yun? Regularity doon sa action nila. Na ano yan, legal yan o normal yan. Hindi tayo mag-assume na may corruption dyan. Hindi natin i-assume na yan ang pakay ng SEC na yan. Yung makakuha ng 1 million tapos paghatian nila. Hindi yan. We must presume regularity. Pero curious lang ako yan. Meron bang nangyayaring audit ang kuha dito sa lahat ng penalties na inimpose ng Securities and Exchange Commission sa mga clients niya? Yan yung tanong.